Kia ora, everybody, what's up? It is Robett, and I am joined by MD of Xero, Craig Hudson. How are you, my bro?
Loving the sun on my deck, mate. I'm doing okay.
You're on the North Shore, eh? You're up. Whereabouts are you?
Yeah.
Is it Browns?
No, up in Orewa.
Orewa. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
We're just saying just before, the world has changed, my friend. I've been calling today day one for a new Zealand. Do you feel the same? How do you feel about, I guess, the last? Yeah, how are you? Shit, it's a lot to unpack. I'm like, like it's so gnarly, man. Like, yeah, geez, how are you?
How am I? I'm better today than I was yesterday. Put it that way. That just the pace of the information, the pace of things that have been cascading has been pretty intense, and trying to. Number one thing for me has been able to try and support the crew through what we're going through. So made the call last Thursday to be able to go to working from home for most of us. But the actual shock and reality of we're in lockdown ultimately. And we're in officially just day one of lockdown today. And it's weird. It's so weird. Like I've taken the kids outside to go on that teddy bear hunt a couple of times because I need to break what's going on within the house. And there's teddy bears everywhere, but there's no cars, and it's eerie, and it's really bizarre. And then you jump onto a call with people, and it's just so intense because you're having to make some pretty big calls and some big information you're dealing with.
The cadence of it, what's kind of, I guess, got me. There's always like there's personal, professional, all these different things, but from corporates and councils and governments, just the cadence and the speed of everything. You've got to have such an even keel mentally and emotionally because the waves can be like, okay, cool, this means boom, 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 and you happen to. I was talking to Jolie, CEO from Spark earlier today, and just the poise mentally, you can tell that she's like, this is happening and we're going to do this, and it's that kind of that even sort of keel, right? How do you think, because how many staff is Xero in New Zealand? Like what's the logistical makeup, and how does this affect, I guess, the global moving pieces?
So we've got around 1,600 here in NZ, between Auckland, Wellington, Hawke's Bay, and then a few regional peeps too, and then about the same offshore, scattered across Australia, UK, throughout the US, South Africa. So we're a little bit behind some of those other regions. So our Asian team, Hong Kong, for instance, have been locked down for ages, and we've been leaning on them for a few tips and tricks and stuff as they're starting to come out the other side, and they're now going back into lockdown as well. And the team in the US right in the forefront of it, and the UK as well. So,
but the difference with your crew is you're in tech. You understand. You know what Google Hangouts is. You have heard of Microsoft Teams. You understand virtual stand-ups. Like in terms of a New Zealand organizations, you'd probably be the biggest that is the most, I guess, tech infused into its DNA to understand the concept of remote, right? But simultaneously, you probably had it's been probably a lot of moving parts. Like I imagine there's no one. Have any staff in the offices in Parnell? Nothing.
No, nothing. No, they're all Wellington. So lockdown. So keys are locked. Can't get in. But so we're relatively set up to be able to work remote, which is awesome. But when you actually have to say everyone's working from home, a lot of peeps don't have setups at home to be able to have an environment in which to be able to do what they need to do, right? So we gave them the authority to be able to take chairs home from the office.
Dude,
it was like the office was getting looted. The Xero's running down the road with these chairs under their arms. And
stock take is going to be a shit show when you get back. Trust me, mate. I've seen the pillaging. I've been part of a few, and I've seen it happen. It is a thing.
It was real.
I need this Ethernet extension cable. No, sweet. I need a modem. Go. Oh, shit. And so now, how have you restructured your timing for prioritization of time now that you're remote and the balance of how have you approached the bandwidth of prioritization?
It's been really tough because there's so much stuff that changes by the hour sometimes, right? So I've been working from home since Tuesday last week, so kind of learnt that I need to carve out time for me and time to connect with the kids, and because I need to share the load with my wife being here looking after the 4 kids that we've got. Otherwise, I could just be locked in on the deck where I am now and be oblivious to what's going on in the world. So blocking time out to be able to make sure I can go and connect, so that Brian can get a break. So that's one of the learnings on the back of it.
The balance, mate. That honestly, the forced containment of like professional pressure with weight, with personal pressure with weight, with time, and I think that because I can do it is I can switch hats real easy between personal to business. But I'm like boom, boom, boom. But man, I'm watching some of my crew go through it, and that it is flipping. It's a thing, right?
It is tough, bro. Like yesterday, first day where the kids were actually dialing into Google Classroom or catching up with their classmates. Had a daughter dialing into a music lesson. So all this digital connection is awesome. But we're all doing it at the same time. And my daughter is learning the saxophone. So none of us in the house can hear shit. Like we can't hear anything. And So
I used to play the trumpet. I know the pain.
But today's way better. Today's way better. The house is way calmer. With the kids have got the tech down. They know how to mute themselves when they're on these digital calls with all the people. We're finding a little bit of a rhythm, which is nice.
Anna's just sent me a text to both of us and says, "Look at you fellas," and she's screen grabbed it and sent us giving a shit. So what's up, Anna? It's good to know that you're in the mix. So you can be on, Anna. I'll give you a buzz and you'll get in there. So for the team, actually, I was going to talk to you about routine. How do you create this new routine for this new world? What are some tips, or how have you sort of navigated it? Because part of what I'm going to, I guess, trying to verbalize and get out is how people are approaching the headspace shifting from one world to the new. And that thing like Jolly was saying this morning, she was wanting to go out for just walk solo, no phone, just get away and just have to read that, and then I guess come back into the chaos and the carnage or whatever. How are you navigating the balance or tips to get routine dialed?
So trying to keep as close to the normal routine in the morning as I can. So breakfast with the kids, getting that sorted.
Paddleboard.
No, I'm not allowed now, bro. Like
what?
We're not allowed to drive to the beach. So I'm hurting. So thanks for bringing that up.
Oh, well, I keep seeing the Insta, and it's always just like you're crushing. How long's the gap between you to the water? Like, how far are we talking?
Too far to carry it.
Honestly, get some Iron Man shit. The SAS have to carry 200 kg things on their head.
Yeah,
you can get that. Just go.
This is a facade. Okay, that's not happening.
So what are you doing? What home exercise are you doing?
Engaging with the kids in the morning, then I've got a daily check-in with my team for half an hour with no agenda, where we can just chew the fat, just catch up what's going on, have a bit of a laugh. The banter's been really good, actually, to help ground us. Yep. And then I can talk through anything that's on top of mind for me and get people thinking about stuff, and vice versa. We can check in with all the rest of the crew. What are we hearing from others as we're a few days into the scenario now with a few people from overseas, and there's things that we need to be aware of, and looking after people first and foremost. And then needing to put a half an hour break in there around 10 o'clock to get the kids out. So I go for a walk. We got a massive grass area at the back of us here, which is so awesome. So we're out there with the dog and getting about 20 minutes of exercise and fresh air without my phone.
Because they need a routine too, right? You got to balance time as well.
Yeah. Otherwise, they're on board, I'm hungry, go away, I'm on a call. That doesn't work very well, right? So, routine for them, and we're working that out as we go. But the schools have been amazing, to be honest, mate. But with the online stuff that they've stood up so fast, and the kids seem to be doing okay with that stuff.
Lisa Mead was just saying, tip, the tea towel and the saxophone reduces the noise level massively. I learnt the sax when I was 14. So there you go,
stuff.
Lisa. Oh. And this is legends. Yeah. Looking out for staff. Yep. How are you approaching doing that remotely at scale when you've got so many? Because obviously, talking before, people have the water cooler moments, they have their chats, they have their interactions. Some people, even though tech connects us, it also can be extremely isolating physically. Yep. How are you approaching that from a Xero perspective?
Yeah, so I'm really conscious of that. So I'm doing a daily video update, and
nice.
So a day in the life of me of what have I learned today, what is going on in my world, and then posting that every day.
How do you
just to try and
into your
put a face to
local?
it.
Yep, your
Just
local
in Slack.
group.
Yeah,
Yep.
just to the New Zealand peeps. It drives engagement and just puts a face to it rather than sending an email. So
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that idea. That's cool. So you do a video, you basically do like a personalized video to your team every morning, consistent. So they wake up and then
different times. So sometimes at the end of the day, so the one today will be the end of the day. So yeah, and trying to keep it as real and authentic as I can. It's not PR polished or anything. It's just shot on my phone, and I don't get approval. I just send it. So
that's my move, mate. Just go.
It's something I learned from you.
Yeah, cool. No, I think it makes even what was interesting, or I'm finding as well, is the people in positions that usually suit and boot or polish, and obviously Xero is a lot more lax sort of, I guess, corporate culture than pretty much most other sort of corporates. It's all forcing, like, humanize them, taking them literally into their living rooms for people that they usually wouldn't get to. Not that they see it as the ivory tower or anything, but in a way, I actually think it's flattening out a lot of the emotional connection and the optics of distance of what they feel, the perception to reality is. Like, have you? I mean, Xero is probably maybe not so much the things I've seen a bunch of your crew, but do you think that leadership will change through this?
I hope so. Yeah.
How so? What do you hope for? What?
That it becomes more flat, more real, more authentic in the way that we interact with each other, and what we see is, like, my wife did a keynote a little while ago, and what is business like now? And I'd like to think that the vision of business like after what we've going to go through in the next 4 weeks is going to be different for the better, because it will be way less pretentious, way less pressure of the story that we tell ourselves that we need to be. Whereas my team now doing stand-ups like this with kids running half naked across in the background and all that kind of stuff, like, it's because it's real and we're all in it together, it makes it okay. Yeah. But why was it not okay before to be able to dial in from home and have a kid coming in? Just think of that BBC video, right?
Oh, that's so good.
Like, it's so good. But that's happening every day now, bro. Like, that's just real.
Did you see the one, the Zoom call the other day, and some chick didn't realize the camera was on? Oh, jeez.
Twitter's taken that down now. I was going to show someone, but it's
so good.
I was wetting myself. It was good.
You see the other one? It's got the African American dude, and it's like, okay, you're going to get stuck in quarantine with your kid on bed.
Yeah, give it be.
Like, honestly, but I was saying this on, I think it was Monday, to Jason Paris from Vodafone. I was saying it's forcing creativity. And I'm seeing streams of awesome music. I'm seeing way more TikTok creativity. I'm seeing way more idea generation. It's like, I think it's pausing all the creators to actually stop and just do the thing. Because as soon as you put someone in a room with nothing to do, give them a flipping hour or 2 hours, and it starts getting itchy, and then they just start doing and they start creating. So I think we're going to see this ridiculous wave of innovation and new business ideas and products and services and music and art and creativity. I think there's just going to be so much, like, awesomeness come out of it. Yes, it's going to be flipping gnarly for the next little bit, and I guess everyone's got to do their part, but it feels like New Zealand's really jumped on this wave. But if we can just get to that other side of what we know it could be, if the speed of everyone be able to do as much as they can, as fast as they can, it gets me really hopeful for a faster, better, cooler, flatter, more authentic New Zealand, Yeah. Make sense?
Yeah, no, it definitely makes sense. Digging the creativity stuff, like just to mix up meetings, some of the crew are wearing different hats every meeting that they go into and getting crazier and crazier. I've got a team member that's just pinged me now saying, for the whole team stand up on Monday, can I sing a crazy song to the crew? Realize that that's sensitive out there at the moment, but actually we need a bit of giggles, right? So we need a little bit of laughs. Loving the different ways of how people are dealing with this, but thinking of it as a way to connect and to make it better for others, rather than this is what I need. It's all about me, which is awesome at the moment, I think.
Look, I know you're a busy man. You got lots of shit to do. Before we go, I want to ask you, if you're a small business owner right now in New Zealand, you're stressed, you're flipping having to either let people go, make tough decisions, you're mentally never had to face so much strategic adversity, second by second, minute by minute. What advice would you give them to to the approach of how you do and what you do, how would you what would you say to them?
Sorry, bro. I'm trying to multitask by cooking rice, and it's all boiling over everywhere. So I'll just take that off.
Wow, this is authentic leadership.
Real life, bro, real life.
Burnt rice, bro.
I can smell it. I can smell it. What would I? Then back to the serious question. What would I do? First and foremost, I'd be applying for government subsidy today if I haven't already. But every business gets the ability to be able to jump in there. If you haven't yet seen a 30% drop in your revenue, which makes you available, then it will happen shortly because we can't sell anything anymore, right? So you'll be getting straight onto that as soon as I can. The other thing is connecting in with people you trust to be able to talk through what's in front of you. So reach out, use platforms that are there. So Manaki platform that just went live, just spun up just like this, straight up, like the people going, there's a problem, how do we connect? Boom, here's a platform over a weekend is amazing. So Pat and the crew at Indigo done awesome there. We've spun, our team, Xero crew, spun up a platform on our Xero Central to be our business continuity page where we can funnel all the information into one place. So you don't have to search everywhere.
Nice.
We'll pick the best of the best into one place and then we'll promote the crap out of it to drive people to it. So the information is there, you just got to know where to look for it. But if you don't have someone you trust to go and ask the questions and bounce off where you're going through at the moment, then you're missing a trick because all the stress is on you. So this is the time where the village around small business really need to stand up. We're standing up. We're trying to stand up as much as we can to be able to support through this. We don't even know what tomorrow looks like, right? But what we're dealing with is today. And how can we help you today? So keen to be able to drive more of that message. There's so many cool people stepping up to try and do stuff. And there is some good stuff that's going to come out of this, but there's going to be a heck of a lot of pain. And the reality is that there's people losing their jobs yesterday, let alone today, let alone in a week's time. But how can we help those that can get through this so that when the bounce happens, people can maximize the opportunity and are ready to rock and roll and have got everything in place. And it's going to be a lot of unknowns, but if you talk and connect, then it's going to be so much easier.
Dude, absolutely mega. On that note, buddy, I'll leave you to your potentially burnt rice.
Yeah, I might need to recook that.
Bron's going to come in hot and be like, Craig, you had one job. Stuff all these words. Get the rice cooked. I gotta get this shit. Tell us, see what up. I appreciate your time, bro. Much love and really appreciate all you're doing and keep charging on. And no doubt we'll be in touch soon, my bro.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Thanks, everyone.
Later, bro. The bro, Craig Hudson, MD of Xero New Zealand. Amazing human, absolute good bastard, and rad for him to be able to spend the time. If there's someone you would like me to talk to or reach out to or do it, I've got a list that's just starting to just crank down and get in the mix. I'm going to be talking to startups, business leaders, basically anyone. I think New Zealand, we are all in this together. I have very fortunate enough to have, I guess, a platform and some good technology and a good crew and community, but I'm extremely, I give a shit because I want a lot of my friends who potentially could get smoked, not to get smoked, and people who are listening to get access to people who are smarter and awesome and great to be able to help with some of their insights. So Craig, absolute legend. Enjoy the rest of the day, team, whatever you're into. Reach out if you are a small business, exactly what he was saying, reach out and check out the government subsidy. I think if you've seen a drop of less than 30%, reach out to your friends, make a call, and New Zealand, we will be okay, but flip and stay inside. And usually on the streets, snitches get stitches. But when it comes to this corona shit, there are snitches do not get stitches. You get high fives. It's going to make New Zealand quicker, better, faster, and not as gnarly as it is today. So stay inside, stay good, team, and I'll see you all soon. Adios. Peace.